Indeed, good morning to you everyone. Welcome to today. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of July, 2026, and I'm Pearson Bowen. So wonderful seeing you. How do you do? I wish you well. I hope you have a marvelous today. And most of all, I hope you take some time to make someone else's day marvelous as well. You have the capacity to do so. So thank you so much for waking up to join us. If you particularly joined us on our streams on Facebook and YouTube, good morning. Bonjour, ça va? How are you doing? I wish you too well. I encourage you to share the show, share the love, tell others to come by, spend some time with us every weekday morning from 6 in the morning until 8 o'clock. Just a couple hours to start your day. And I thank you for doing that as well. You just got a glimpse of it. That is our email address. And so I encourage you, if you know of something that you think we need to talk about, tell us about it by email. If you know of someone who you find so interesting, you thought, hey, Mornin Barbados should talk about them, tell us by email. That email address is right there. It is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. We thank you for sharing with us in everything we do. You're great ambassadors indeed. Really, really appreciate it. Now, the Mango Festival is on in Nevis. I'll start that way deliberately because we are celebrating our Caribbean connections this morning. But in Nevis, you know, the Mango Festival is on. It's a few days they dedicate to just mangoes and everything mangoes, from the chutneys and the jams to what else you can do apart from tasting all the variety of mangoes that they do have in Nevis. And so the Mango Festival is on. Perhaps you'll give consideration next year to being there in Nevis for the Mango Festival. It is usually very highly patronized. And so that's an option as well for you when you explore the region. So that is what I recommend to you, the Mango Festival in Nevis. Just coming off of St. Kitts having its music festival. So there's a lot happening across our region indeed. And that's what we're taking a look at in just a moment as we sit with Ambassador David Kamishon, who is in St. Lucia, attending the 51st meeting of the regular meeting of the heads of CARICOM. And we want to get a sense of what's happening, what are the discussion points, and just how has it been going thus far indeed. We'll talk to him a little bit more about that in just a moment. We'll also today be hearing from one of the young voices of CARICOM who presented at the opening ceremony. That's a message we want to share just a bit of. But all of this is available online. If you want to see his full message, you'll get a chance to see that yourself online. But we'll share with you a little bit about what he said to the leaders of CARICOM on Sunday. Also today, we continue to prepare for Kadooment. We're getting ourselves and our bodies ready. There's an activity coming up at the end of the month that pits cardio and culture together. In what ways and who's doing this? We'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a little while. Some very familiar names that you know, people you actually love, are actually putting on this particular event. And so they'll join me to talk a little bit more about it. There's a campaign that says enough, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation mark. Enough. Enough of what? And what is it truly about? We'll hear a little bit more from the Healthy Caribbean Coalition as they talk to us about what this campaign is about and how we can add our voice to the success of this campaign to agitate even more. And we'll also be saying enough. And we'll be meeting this morning one more of our interns who's taking time in her busy summer to spend her time with us at the CBC. How has that journey been so far for her? She'll join us to talk a little bit more about that. But as always, it is crop over. It is also the hurricane season. You have been met by many people from the district emergency organizations. The messaging is being heard. I hope you're taking time to prepare as well for the hurricane season. The rains have started in Barbados and already I'm enjoying, I don't know about you, but I'm thoroughly enjoying the cool. But let's not let our guards down. Let's prepare. So get your plans out and get your plans ready for the hurricane season. One never knows. And given conditions today, things develop rather quickly. So I want to encourage you to get your hurricane preparedness plans together and ready and practiced and activated, and ensuring that all the members of your family, they understand what the plan is so that everyone's life is preserved. It's also crop over. That means it's the sweetest summer festival, and that means we are all engaged in the music, the revelry, the fun, the festivity, the celebrations, the everything. As a matter of fact, coming up on Sunday, it's Party Monarch. Party Monarch is this coming Sunday, and so I want to encourage you, if you don't already have your ticket, to get ready for this one. $100,000 purse for the Sweet Soca, $100,000 purse for the Power Soca, and 2 crowns, 1 event. You should not miss it. It's going to be quite a show at the weekend this coming Sunday as all part of Crop Over. But all Crop Over will be also in the CBC, giving you a chance to win. If you spot and you connect, then you can be a winner. And we ask you to take a look out everywhere we go, all the crop of our activities, all of our CBC activations as well. We'll be driving the brand new Suzuki Across GLX two-wheel drive hybrid vehicle. When you spot it, take a clear, crystal clear. Look at the screen. That's what you're looking for. When you spot that vehicle, then you take a picture of it and you send your picture to contests@cbc.bb. That's by email, contests@cbc.bb with your name and your contact details. Or you can send it by WhatsApp to 233-7356. 233-7356 with all of those contact details as well. Or you connect with any of our supporters right there. You see at the bottom of your screen, HK Barbados, the Barbados Lottery, Capita Financial, Student Revolving Loan Fund, or the National Transformation Initiative. Those are some of our partners, and they are the ones with whom you can connect. And then, of course, you have every opportunity to win. And I wish you well, all of you who are going to be a part of this. Really wonderful competition indeed. So congratulations in advance to you. And that's it. That's happening this festival indeed. So what I'll do here as we get ready to get into our conversations on CARICOM, we'll take a break. And we're coming back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you, and let's get started with today and every Tuesday's conversations on CARICOM. And of course, we always have those conversations with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Comishong, who is joining us this morning from the Helen of the West. Ambassador Comishong, good morning.
Morning, Pearson. Pleasure to be here with you.
It is so good to have you indeed. You are in the right spot at the right time because you're among the leaders of the region. And so we're having the 51st regular meeting of CARICOM, heads of CARICOM, and they're meeting in St. Lucia for reasons. What are some of those agenda items that they're discussing?
Virtually everything. You know, this July meeting is the main heads of government conference. There are 6 every year, 2 in person and 4 virtual, but this is the main one that coincides with CARICOM Day, the 4th of July, when CARICOM is established back in 1973. So I can tell you that what is different about this particular meeting is that the current chair, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip Pierre, he felt that he wanted to focus on bringing the heads of government together. So the first full day of the conference, which was yesterday, Monday, was devoted principally to a retreat of just the heads of government alone. And during that retreat, they would have dealt with 2 principal issues. The cost of living, and perhaps we could say the cost of living crisis in the Caribbean, because all across the world, and including the Caribbean, we are all experiencing inflation. Prices are rising. It has a lot to do with ongoing conflicts around the world, the American and Israeli war, unjustified war against Iran, and how that has shut down the Strait of Hormuz, for example. But anyhow, so the cost of living. So the heads thought they would come together and brainstorm how they could find some relief for consumers across CARICOM. Secondly, the crime situation, because just like in Barbados, virtually all CARICOM countries are suffering from this phenomenon of rising, especially violent crime rates. This this increase in gun-related crimes, this increase in the supply of guns across our region. So those were the two issues that the heads thought were perhaps the greatest priorities, and they dealt with that in their retreat. Following the retreat, then they went into caucus, and the difference between the retreat and the caucus is that the retreat is just the heads alone. The caucus is the heads plus one. So Prime Minister Motley would have taken with her into caucus Foreign Minister Christopher Sinclair. And in caucus, they would have dealt with matters pertaining to Haiti. And Dr. Kenny Anthony, the chair of the CARICOM Eminent Persons Group on Haiti, he was here to engage with the heads plus one, Cuba. And there's a very strong Cuban delegation from the Republic of Cuba here engaging across the board. Financing and governance of the community of CARICOM. And you know, one of the thorny issues that has bedeviled CARICOM in recent months is this issue over this little controversy over the reappointment of the Secretary General. So I would imagine that issue would have been dealt with in the caucus, and I think I know the solution that the heads are likely to come to. But yes, that would have been one of the issues. Participation, a very important item that Barbados put on the agenda. Participation in the Vulnerability to Viability Compact. And that was discussed in caucus yesterday. Many Barbadians may not be aware, but Barbados is currently the chair of the 74-nation group of climate vulnerable countries. And, you know, we have been chair for well over a year now, maybe a year and a half. And Prime Minister Motley has again and again appealed to all CARICOM countries to join this group. Well, they would have heard yesterday why they should all have listened to her advice, because under the leadership of Barbados, this group of countries recently entered into a compact with a group of international financial institutions led by the OPEC Development Fund, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank. You can go on. 15 major financial institutions to provide funding for education, water-related issues, and healthcare for these countries on very, very concessional terms, very extended loan repayment conditions. And so Prime Minister Motley would have been sharing the good news with her fellow heads, and encouraging them, all of them, to get on board. So those were the matters that our heads and our foreign ministers would have accomplished yesterday. But while they were in retreat and in caucus, the rest of us, we were attending a number of side events. So, for example, the CARICOM Private Sector Organization, they brought together leaders of the Caribbean business sector for a special breakfast session yesterday. The youth, there was a special youth program yesterday, which I attended to hear our young people speak. And I'm glad that you singled out that young man, Raheem Augustine
Oh, yes.
Joseph, his address at the opening ceremony. His address was easily the highlight of the opening ceremony. And if he is typical of the quality of young people we have in this Caribbean community, our future
That's right.
is assured. I mean, brilliant. I'm glad you're going to be highlighting it. I spoke to him yesterday. I told him I'm going to screen record his speech and share it as wide as possible because he spoke for his generation and he hit every right note. And then there was the reparations event yesterday.
Yes.
I was able to attend that. I was able to share probably about, I've been sharing out copies of the new CARICOM manifesto on reparations. I probably shared out about 150 copies yesterday. So very important, very important session yesterday. But I must tell you, Pearson,
Yes.
before you come back in, I must tell you about the the road race on Sunday. I must let you know that I actually represented Barbados in
Well
that
done.
5 kilometer road race, and I finished the course. But the better news is that the Barbadian representatives in the elite CARICOM 10-kilometer road race, Carly Robinson, she won the female component of the race, and Joshua Hunt, he came fourth in the male component of the elite race. So Barbados did extremely well.
Well done to all of you who took the plot to participate in that indeed. But I'm glad you reflected just for a moment that yesterday was CARICOM Day. We spoke about that significantly on the show yesterday to remind people that it is a signal moment in our development as a region. Let's look across the region as well. From what you know, in what other ways did other people around the region mark the significance of yesterday as the first Monday in July when we celebrate CARICOM Day?
Well, I know that Guyana, for example, it is a public holiday in
Yes.
Guyana. Um, I think Guyana is the only country to the best of my knowledge that has actually made it a public holiday. I know in most of the countries, the CARICOM youth ambassadors try to put on events. The problem with having the government's lead celebrations is that the CARICOM Day always coincides with the staging of the heads of government conference. So, so the prime ministers are not at home, foreign ministers, ambassadors,
Yes.
and that kind of makes it difficult. So I'm not clear exactly how different countries might have commemorated it. But yes, I guess we can say that the annual coming together in this major heads of government conference, which is never just heads of government, because when the heads come, the foreign ministers come. Quite often, the attorneys general come. The heads of CARICOM institutions come. And at this July meeting, we really have a coming together in one CARICOM country of what I call the CARICOM family. So, for example, all yesterday, I would have been engaging with Dr. Kenny Anthony, for example, being able to pick his brain about what is happening with Haiti. Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, our own Doddridge Miller, and Vice Chancellor Hilary Beckles, Dr. June Suma of St. Lucia, and the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. So it is always a wonderful, beyond the formal business of the conference, it is a wonderful coming together of the CARICOM family, and this is why I am never doubtful about the continuance and viability of CARICOM, because I know how deep the personal bonds run, and that in fact we are very much a regional family of diplomats, government representatives, Caribbean professionals in the different institutions of CARICOM, the private sector people, the representatives of labor. And that is what we would have celebrated yesterday. But yesterday was all about the heads meeting very confidentially in retreat and in caucus. Today is about the plenary sessions of the conference. So this is where we will all of us, we will all gather in the same conference room, and we will be discussing and making decisions about a number of items pertaining to the CSME. Just to give you an example, food, agriculture, production, and food sovereignty, etc., etc.
Well, we'll take a look at what today portends in just a little while. But yes, on Sunday, the outgoing chairman, Dr. Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis, and the incoming chairman, Philip J. Pierre of St. Lucia, they all had one voice. They spoke to the resilience of CARICOM, the organization of CARICOM. And as you've mentioned, how everyone is so connected on the same issues, but there still matters still to be resolved. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more in our conversations on CARICOM about today's activities and that one other matter in the room, the CARICOM Secretary General, in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're having our conversations on CARICOM with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon, as heads meet in St. Lucia for the 51st regular meeting of heads. And there are a number of matters they're discussing, and they're continuing today in caucus, but certainly for sure, a couple of things came up and continue to be on the agenda of the minds of the Caribbean people. The Prime Ministers have spoken at the opening ceremony about how they are of one, but Jamaica Ambassador has now joined the conversation about the appointment of CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett. And no doubt that we hope will be resolved very soon, because the proposition was put forward by Trinidad's Prime Minister to have her on a month-to-month contract while this matter is resolved at the CCJ. How much of a discussion did that, or how much air did that consume in the room as a matter of discussion?
Okay, well, just correct you a little bit. Today is going to be the plenary.
Right.
Yesterday was the caucus and retreat. So today is when we all come together in the same room. Now, that matter of the Secretary General, I would imagine, would have been dealt with by the heads and foreign ministers or attorneys general yesterday in the caucus, because one of the items on the caucus agenda was financing and governance of the community, and that item would fall under governance of the community. So I know that there is a central idea that has emerged as to how to resolve this matter. I don't think it has anything to do with the Secretary General being on a month-to-month contract or anything of that nature. But I would not want to say publicly what I know about the emerging consensus, because I really don't know if the heads settled on that last yesterday. So it won't be proper for me to put something out into the public domain that might turn out to be incorrect. But what I can say is that I think there has been an effort towards some kind of rapprochement. It was a good sign, for example, that Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Sassar is here at the conference and is attending. And so just I prefer to wait for the heads to actually make their own announcement as to how they hopefully have resolved this issue. Because as the young Rahim said at the opening ceremony, young Rahim said to them, "Look, the youth of the Caribbean expect you to be focused on the real substantial issues that have to do, with improving the lives of the Caribbean people, and not to be sidetracked with really non-essential issues that are something of a distraction." And I trust that all of our heads would have taken to heart that very powerful message that came to us from our youth generation, the people who are going to inherit this Caribbean region.
Absolutely. Now let's look at today's activities then. Let's bring us into the room, and who will be in the room and discussing what?
Yeah, well, all of the national delegations will be in the room. If I give you an example, Barbados, we typically, the delegation to CARICOM Heads of Government Conference, the delegation would straddle the Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So Prime Minister's office, you will have the PM, you will have her permanent secretary, you will have her chief research officer, you will have and of course her PR people, the media people. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you will have the minister, you will have the Director of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Donna Ford, you will have the Ambassador CARICOM, myself, and you will have two Foreign Service officers who are there, two or three. In fact, we have three Foreign Service officers on this occasion who are there to make sure that everything goes smoothly, that a proper record is taken of the meeting, and we basically depend on them, to ensure the smooth and efficient participation of the Barbados delegation. So yes, and in addition to such national delegations, all of the institutions of CARICOM are here, and so the representatives of those institutions would come into the plenary when there are matters pertaining to their area of operations. So first on the agenda this morning is going to be the CSME, and so things like movement within the Caribbean. Prime Minister Motley recently wrote to all of our heads of government, those who are not yet part of the full free movement regime, encouraging them to come on board. I can also tell you that the idea of the ferry system, some people might have felt, well, this, we haven't heard about this idea is dead. No, it is very much alive. I attended the last Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the CSME, the meeting of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee, with private sector entities that are actively pursuing this idea of the ferry, with representatives of the Caribbean Private Sector Organization, and there will be a report on the progress being made on this. But movement within the community, Pearson, movement of people, the infrastructure for movement, the ferry system that we desperately need, and also the labor market information system that member states can know what are the labor needs. Caribbean citizens can know what are the labor needs in any particular CARICOM country, and then we facilitate our people being able to move and find life and career opportunities. Also, many of the CSME issues pertaining to the business sector, mutual recognition of companies, for example. We are, with the help of the African Export-Import Bank, we are on the road towards establishing a CARICOM Export-Import Bank, which will be very vital, especially to micro and small and medium businesses, to help them more efficiently participate in trade, intra-regional trade, and even extra-regional trade. And also the Afri-Exim Bank is also helping us to establish a CARICOM payments and settlement scheme that will facilitate trade among the CARICOM countries by minimizing the amount of foreign currencies that we have to use. So they're helping us to put in place a payment system for intra-regional trade that we can do most of that trade in our own local Caribbean currencies, and therefore minimize any need to use hard currencies like the American dollar, for example. Then there is the very hopeful project within CARICOM. We will hear from President Irfan Ali of Guyana about that 25 by 25 by 5 agriculture and food security program. How are we going? What progress are we making? There'll be a report from the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on reparations, and Sir Hillary will be there in the room to add to that report. And this is one area that has really, really taken off. In fact, I can tell you, Pearson, that I come back to Barbados on Thursday, and on Saturday, I leave with a team from the CARICOM Reparations Commission for the UK, where we are going to be engaging on reparations from the UK House of Commons, the High Commissioners, Commonwealth High Commissioners, the media in the UK. Perhaps we're trying to organize a meeting with the Anglican Church, the leadership of the Church of England as well. But we will hear a full report, and we will be sharing copies of that CARICOM manifesto. Applications for full membership. The plenary session will deal with the applications of Bermuda and Turks and Caicos Islands for full membership of CARICOM. And we will also have a report led by the Bahamas on the non-independent territories that are associate members of CARICOM. All of them tend to have issues pertaining to, the colonial power, the colonizing power, and CARICOM is there to help them and to give them that solidarity and support. And one other thing I would like to mention, we are hoping, I am particularly hoping, that we will be able to issue a statement on Palestine. CARICOM, we have not issued a statement on Palestine for some time now. It's as if Palestine has kind of fallen off the table. I guess we have been so consumed with the U.S. and Israeli attack on Iran, the continuing U.S. oppression of Cuba, the blowing up of boats in the Caribbean and so forth, that it has shifted our attention from what is still a very, very troubling program of aggression and assault on the Palestinian people of Gaza and West Bank. And I'm hoping that we will be able to agree a statement registering our concern about this situation.
I know, Ambassador, you're very busy. It's a full day for sure, and then you have another set of days straight ahead shortly after this meeting concludes. But I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I can't wait to hear what else comes from what's happening there in St. Lucia and then your visit to the UK as well. So we want to wish you well and safe trips, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Pearson. Looking forward to seeing you back in Barbados.
Indeed, same for me. Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon, in today's Conversations on CARICOM. Morning Barbados is right back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damian Best as they review the action. The goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
As people of the region, we need to know what's happening within our region. And so we continue our look at what's happening in St. Lucia when the 51st regular meeting of heads of government continues. And so in the opening ceremony on Sunday, the young man of whom we speak, his name is Raheem Augustine Joseph. He was a student here at the University of the West Indies. He's a Rhodes Scholar. He was the valedictorian at his graduation from the UWI as well, and he was profound. And so in CARICOM's reference to his speech, they said, he called on regional leaders to harness the energy, creativity, and innovation of the youth to accelerate regional integration. He spoke about so much more. He went on then to talk about advancing freedom of movement, strengthening food and nutrition security, investing in agriculture and innovation, developing a Caribbean artificial intelligence strategy, and empowering young people to help shape the region's future. But I can't tell it all. He'll tell it to you now. Listen to the voice of the youth in St. Lucia.
In this divided world that don't see islands no more, we are not doomed forever to be at somebody's mercy, because these little keys from Nassau to Georgetown have already opened up mighty doors. Deputy to the Governor General, His Excellency Felix Finisterre, outgoing Chairman of the Conference of the CARICOM Heads of Government, Dr. the Honorable Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, incoming Chairman, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, other heads of government, excellencies, friends, all. I've started here not because my now hopeless dream of becoming a West Indies cricketer caused me to fully think that I had to remember the anthem, but because David Rudder was relevant then as he is now. And sometimes I think we forget that these little keys from Nassau to Georgetown have already opened up mighty doors. We have done well, especially considering who brought us here, and they believe that our ambition would be limited to being Euros of wood and drawers of water, where the brothel and the rum shop was the only mode of socialization, and where prisons and not schools were built. But it is this CARICOM that has created the Caribbean Court of Justice, both in its original and appellate jurisdiction, ensuring that justice is available to all irrespective of their socioeconomic circumstances, ensuring that justice is blind but not tone deaf to the realities of the people of this region. Our justice is therefore no longer coming, in some instances, from London, but from Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, It is this CCJ some 13 years ago in Shanique Mairi, which told us that the Caribbean citizens have a right to unencumbered movement without harassment, without impediment, and ensuring a sense of community belonging within this region. But our journey remains incomplete. As the accession to the CCJ and its appellate jurisdiction, prime ministers should be put back on the proverbial table, whether it be in Kingston, whether it be in St. Paul's, whether it be in Kingstown, and across other countries in this region. We should be singing with one accession tune, galvanizing public sentiments across this region in much the same way that we've done in our local elections in the past few months. And we must reconsider our concurrent ambitions of side courts and cash in on the investment in the Caribbean Court of Justice. And I sense that we must reject this false binary that is coming up about the economic fundamentalism must come first before questions of justice. And at a time, heads, when governments across the world are telling their people to look inwards, and Caribbean people are now being classified as others in lands afar off, we should be telling our people to look inward, but for a different reason, to renew the confidence in our institutions and in ourselves. A Lovelace comes to mind, friends, when he says in The Dragon Can Dance that how come everything we do, we appeal to somebody else? For somebody else to tell us if it is that what we do is right or wrong. It's like we have no self. I mean, we have a self, but not a self for us. The CCJ must therefore be the final court of appeal within this Caribbean jurisdiction. And it is because we have not been doomed forever that we've been able to create the University of the West Indies, which for decades have ensured the creation of brilliant Caribbean minds, where every office in this region is filled with these brilliant minds who've studied at the UWI. And we've done well in this changing world to ensure that the world appreciates and makes meaningful progress on reducing greenhouse gas emissions, ensuring the reorganizing of the global financial architecture, reducing blacklisting and other onerous compliance issues. But friends, I agree with the cautionary words by George Lamin when he said that the architecture of our future is not only unfinished, but the scaffolding has barely gone up. And I fear that in this moment, notwithstanding all of our successes, we remain stuck in our crease. We remain trapped by nostalgia of runs scored in the past when really what we should be doing is dancing down the wicket, finding gaps and scoring runs. And instead, I worry that the politics of integration is not meeting the ambitions and the vibrancy of the young people of this region. Heads, the tragedy is not that the people of this region do not have a regional conscience. The tragedy is that the institutions are moving slower than the conscience of these people. And the question is whether you, the leaders, are going to meet this moment. But you may ask, what is this vibrancy and this ambition that the young people of this region want tapped into? Heads, every day, the young people in this region may be struggling to find employment within their own countries, but unable to tap into a regional market and vacancies, whether it be because they're frustrated by the duplicitous process in the CSME, whether it is that they're hampered by transportation woes, whether it is that they're affected by the high taxes on the airlines, or they're aware for some advantage of just a minute few that their nationality will be weaponized against them to be able to believe that immigration will take away and make jobs obsolete. The truth is, it's much easier to hate someone else from whose dinner table you've not sat at. Or perhaps they're waiting with bated breath for the full freedom of movement that has been promised. And we know it. We know that without movement of people, there is no integration. And that our movement within this region will be relegated to a technocratic plaything, esoteric concepts, without meaningful moments of integration in the lives of ordinary people. And it's commendable that we do have a coalition of the willing, whether it be for Barbados and Belize, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who at times have modeled after the OECS, but it does not mean that other countries must not join on board to ensure the full freedom of movement within this region.
Boy, he had a lot more to say, and I'm telling you, you can go see it on YouTube on the CARICOM Secretariat's YouTube page to hear more from Raheem Augustine Joseph, a Rhodes Scholar at St. Lucian, a brilliant orator, everything all in one, but a profound message indeed. That's what's happening in CARICOM today. Morning Barbados Spirits here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is where Barbadian football.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world. Your playlist, your station, 98.1, The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My name is Pepe. What's up with you? You can get a ticket out of my car. You can get a ticket out of my car. You can get a ticket out of my car.
Well, cultural cardio is what they do. You just saw what they do as well. And so they're bringing together our culture, but they're working the body out. So they have a workshop. I just like it so bad. The Spinny and Nandy Cultural Cardio Workshop coming up really, really soon. And the people behind this are right here with me, Nandy and Spinny. Welcome to Mornin Barbados. You're outside in our yard during our Soca Sweat sessions, and you created quite a stir indeed. And so here we are now. Why this workshop? Nandi?
Well, workshop is kind of my end. Spin Pooch is his end. And for me, workshop was a work-up workshop is my little breakdown and teaching you how to work up. I call myself the work-up scientist, so I give you the details on how to do this.
I can hear we production crew say, Pearson, do it. We want to see you work up.
Yeah.
You hear it, right? Not today.
I hear the clap just now.
Let him practice, guys. Don't put him on the spot.
I learn from observation. You know. But so you're offering people a chance to really come together and work out in this work-up session, workshop, and also get the body fit for crop over.
Correct. So like I said, mine is more the breakdown, the details of how to work up and how to move your body. People everywhere always ask, how one is do that, how one is move your body like that. And so we get the opportunity to travel all over the world and teach people the little details of how we just enjoy ourselves here in Barbados, and something that is so true and connected to us. And then we mix in the fitness, we mix in the workouts. Whitney is your fitness instructor, and he brings that element, I bring the dance element, and we have a beautiful mesh of cultural cardio.
If my grandmother heard us talk about this right now, she would go like, that is no Pierce. But in today's time, work up is just another form of expression.
It really
is just another way of dancing that makes us who we are as African people. And so you've been taking this across the globe, and so far, what's been the general response?
They enjoy it, they love it. We have people traveling from other countries to the site so that they could take the class, or taking buses or trains for long hours to come to take the class. I've been to Germany, I've been to Switzerland. Spinny's been to some very surprising places he will talk to you about in a minute. But all over the world, people are very interested and want to know these details and celebrate it in such a great way that we are able to make a career off of it, a living off of it. They enjoy the vibe, they enjoy the energy, they enjoy how they feel when they do it, they enjoy the music. It's great to see, and then they get to work in some cultural dance steps as well and teach them a little bit about Barbados and our music and our history. It's a great little mix.
Look at how far we've come, Spinny. Look at how far we've come.
Never thought working out would have done this.
You know. Indeed, but yeah, Nadi's right. You go into places and spaces that people are, I'm surprised how your approach into spin as a form of exercise has become so fun and taking you all over the world.
Yeah. For me personally, it isn't a surprise because this is what I wanted to do. Like you see Zumba all over the globe. And earlier in my career, I was in a group called Spin Puching, and we toured the world. And I saw like, yo, there are so many people from the Caribbean who eat what we do. So when I decided, you know what, I took a break from dancing and I wanted to come back out now. When I saw the birth of social media, I decided let me fuse things that I do. At the time, I wasn't certified as yet. I was just a fitness enthusiast. And I decided, you know what, I'm also a good dancer. Let me mesh the fitness with the dance. I went and did my certification, and then that's how the cultural cardio was born.
And the two of you have come together to do this. Nandi, Spinny, city words.
Spin Pooch workshop.
There you go. This workshop is happening when?
This is happening on July 29th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. sharp. We call the space the Wakap Arena.
I love it. Or the Raceless Colosseum.
Yes, but it is technically at the Oasis in Kenda Hill. That's where you see all the major football tournaments on the turf. Yeah, we have been doing the sessions there for like the last 3 years. So that is the home of our crop over session.
And this session ain't free?
Nah, it's not free at all. It's not free at all.
I mean, you're going home with a lot, but it ain't free.
We had a few free sessions this season, you know. That was the teaser, that was the warm up, you know.
To get yourself ready.
Yeah, we get you prepared for the last lap that weekend. I could do
so true. So whether you're at this soca sweat with us or the hot summer burn and other people doing all sorts of things, and this is the one now. This is the big one, the 29th of July. And part of there's a gimmick, I call it a gimmick to this as well. You want us to come representing our school colors, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because the thing is, again, on the sporting element, we understand how cultural inter-school sports is to us. So we want you to come out, put on like your netball gear, your basketball gear, your football gear. But
all I have is my school tie.
Yeah,
that's
school ties. Yeah, whatever you want to do. And we all know the ladies always come out looking good, so we know they will put a sexy spin onto it, and we will come and we will burn calories. To speak on the freer sessions that we did earlier, you would see Soca Sweat would have featured Nandi by herself, or you would have seen it feature me by myself. But this is the only time when you get Spinny and Nandi combo at the same time, because when Nandi travels, she travels solo. When I travel solo. So Barbados is supposed to have the major session ever. Barbados must always have the best cultural cardio session. So that's where we come together and you get an absolute movie.
Absolute movie. Yeah. This is a movie, for ladies and gentlemen. It's happening at the Oasis in Kendall Hill. Yeah. And it's on the 29th from what time to what time?
6:30 p.m. And it's about 2 hours. Okay. So that when you finish the session, because the whole goal of it is to get you prepared for the last lap of crop over. So when you finish the session, you can then go to whatever party you need to go to. It's not clashing with anything else. Again, the session has loads of tourists because people are in the country at the time. So we don't want them to have a culture shock when they go into the party and they realize, yo, I catch a side stitch. Yo, these Bajans just party real hard. So we're here to show them that this is what you can expect. It will not be as intense as this, and no one ever fails at the class. So once you succeed here, you will have the confidence to then go to 4-day morning. You then have the confidence to go Kadooment Day, and
So Nandi, okay, walking up as we saw it. Not what I said, as we saw it.
Yeah.
But it is much more than simply walking up.
Correct.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, growing up, I always heard walking up is we culture, and I grew up in a lot of community groups that did more folk-focused dance styles. And I remember even like with Tyrone Trotman or Gene Carson or Danny Hines, movements always had an element of some waistline fused into the movements. And so a lot of those are movements that I throw into the session. You know, you get to move your full body, but you still get a little bit of waistline in between it. And I get to link it back to those roots, those landship movements, those folk movements, and I enjoy sharing that with people from other countries especially, and showing them a little bit of Barbados history and our culture.
All of that we're getting on the 29th, folks. On the 29th from around 6:30 or thereabouts. Yeah. Now, prices. Let's talk a little bit about and how can we get in?
Okay. Price is $60. You can hit the link on my Instagram bio, Spinny _13. And it's right there. You can also go on Eventbrite. It will be right there. Or you can go onto my website, spinny_13.com. And there will be a thumbnail there at the top. And go straight on over. If you want to do first pay, you can also contact the ticket hotline, 251-2091. 251-2091. Again, I repeat. Send a nice 251-2091. Send a nice WhatsApp message and we can arrange a cash transaction or first pay.
Yeah. And you're going to be first in line, right, folks? You're going to be first in line on the 29th in Kendall Hill for this big walk shop where you get to see how walk up is really done and how walk up can benefit your body overall as a fitness exercise indeed. And Spinny will be doing the Spinny as well, so we can come be a part of it all. Get active with Spinny, international fitness professional. Go to his website, which is what we're looking at the moment, spinny.13.com, and when you're there, then you can also purchase your ticket to get to see a whole lot more. You can go to Eventbrite and get your ticket from there, or you can send a message by Insta, spinny.13 on Insta, and let him sort you out where that's concerned as well. 251-2091. WhatsApp. Yeah. The memory's still good, right?
Yeah.
As old as he is, indeed. But I wish you well. This sounds like a lot of fun. Come wearing your school colors, folks. Whether it's your netball, football, any other activity you were engaged in with your uniform, or wear your school's colors. And if it's just your tie, your epaulets, your uniform, come really dress down and get ready to have some fun as we get ready for the last lap of Crop Over 2026 indeed with Nandi and Spinny. They're ready to have this workshop just with us and just for us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, expect to see you, Pearson.
I only have my school tie.
And waistline.
I want to, listen.
The workout.
But I want to see the movement, though.
Y'all really want me to break out of my
I can hear the man in the back saying, do it, do it, do it. We just want to see a little,
One day coming soon.
Make sure,
One day coming soon.
So make sure to come and bring the entire CBC staff.
Of course.
To the session, all right?
The posse coming. We coming. We after all are soccerholics, right?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
soccerholics, folks, aren't we? So let's get out and enjoy this on the 29th. Indeed. Thank you again.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for having
challenge
me.
accepted. You like that?
Yeah.
Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's get to the news now. The Barbados Energy and Sugar Company yesterday announced that 10 people will be severed following the conclusion of the 2026 sugar harvest. According to the company, the workers are being sent home as part of a limited restructuring aimed at aligning the company's staffing and operating costs with its current commercial realities. BESCO said the decision was extremely difficult and was not taken lightly. The company acknowledged the personal impact that job loss has on employees and their families and said affected workers have been informed directly and will be guided through the applicable next steps. BESCO said the restructuring follows sustained operational and financial pressure affecting the company and the wider sugar sector. Since the divestment of government's sugar operations, BESCO has operated as a private company and does not receive a government subvention. BESCO said it will provide factual updates as necessary and will continue to communicate directly with key stakeholders to reduce uncertainty and prevent misinformation. Representatives of 56 member nations of the Commonwealth have drafted an important document ahead of the 28th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting to be held in Antigua and Barbuda from November the 1st to the 4th. The representatives met to finalize the draft communique at Marlborough House in London between the 30th of June and July the 3rd, and Barbados was represented by High Commissioner to the UK, Edmund Hinkson, as well as the mission's Minister Consular, Dr. Ricardo Kelman. High Commissioner Hinkson explained to CBC News what the draft document means for Barbadians.
The draft communique reaffirms the Commonwealth's commitment to and recognition of the Bridgetown Initiative as an important multilateral platform for reform of the global financial system, particularly in recognition of the special characteristics and challenges of small island developing states and lesser developed countries. Representatives agree that all member states will continue to work together to address the structural barriers limiting access to climate finance by member countries, especially SIDS, LDCs and other vulnerable countries, and to support financial innovation, sustainability-linked financing and disaster risk financing instruments to provide rapid and predictable liquidity in times of crisis.
A call is being made for greater collaboration between scientists and medical professionals to better understand the health impact of African dust on people in Barbados and the region. The call comes from head of the Barbados Atmospheric Chemistry Observatory and professor of the University of Miami in Atmospheric Sciences, Dr. Cassandra Gaston, as the organization celebrated 6 years of measurements at its Ragged Point site in St. Philip. The site helps to provide information on the long-range transport of African dust to the Caribbean, North America and the Amazon. Speaking during a media briefing at the observatory's location, Dr. Gaston said that while not much could be done to prevent the dust from coming, stronger partnerships could aid in offering the public better advice on how to mitigate its effects.
We need more collaboration between people who are more on the environmental side, like me, and people who are in the medical professions, right? I don't understand the health impacts of dust. It's not my area of research, but I would love to collaborate with more people who do. So we've been discussing this with some local professors at UE to see how we can use our data and our data products to help them understand what does it mean when the dust comes? Can we improve the forecasting so that we can give people advice, but rather than just, okay, put on a mask and that's it, right? Give them more specific guidelines on what they should do to protect themselves.
Dr. Gaston also said that the dust in our atmosphere at the moment is no more than usual, but they have been seeing upticks in African dust, primarily during the spring and winter periods.
When we're getting more dust than usual has actually been in the wintertime and springtime. We're starting to see upticks in how much dust comes during that season, which isn't the peak dust season, right? But we are getting more of that transport. We're also getting a lot of smoke from fires in Africa coming in winter and spring as well. So we had a really large event that happened last winter that was pretty unprecedented for anything we've ever seen in our long-term record.
Sports now, both Justin Graves and Shea Hope celebrated superb centuries, but the West Indies were still unable to erase Sri Lanka's first innings advantage on day 4 of the second and final test in Antigua. Resuming on 318 for 4 at the Vivian Richards Stadium, the home side were eventually dismissed for 499, conceding a first innings lead of 50 runs. Graves narrowly missed out on a maiden double century, producing his second highest test score of 180 with 14 fours and 2 sixes. Hope made a polished 112 that included 10 boundaries, those 2 batting, and they put on 242 for 5th wicket. Asitha Fernando took 5 for 130. Sri Lanka ended the day on 92 for 2 in their second innings, stretching their overall lead to 142 runs heading into today's final session. That's our look at the news and sports. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic and DV-Cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 and a half after 7 o'clock now. Heads of government are meeting in St. Lucia. One of the agenda items is the health of the people of the region. We're having our own heads right here in Barbados as well, in Mornin Barbados as well. As I'm joined by the Director of Parados in Cicely Clark-Richmond. Cicely, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson.
And I'm also joined by the President of the Barbados Physiotherapy Association in Marita Marshall. Marita, good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
So you see the heads are meeting?
Yes.
Heads are also meeting here. And we're meeting simply because together we join with the Healthy Caribbean Coalition to say enough. Enough, and to stand on that promise and that premise as well. But I'm sure there are some who are saying, okay, I know of this whole thing called the Healthy Caribbean Coalition, but who are they? What do you say, Marita?
It's a group of many organizations in Barbados, across the Caribbean actually, who have come together to really put down their feet, heads down, to implement policy. And we're really focusing on the childhood obesity issue. And within schools, you have the school nutrition policy that's already in place, and across the board, we're really just pushing to have children eating healthier, just exercising more. Yeah.
But as a part of the Physiotherapy Association, what concerns you as it relates to children?
As it relates to kids and inactivity, I mean, across the board, we could all be a little bit more physically active. But as it relates to kids, you know, back in the day, children used to be outside playing. Now it's like everybody is head down in phones, tablets all day. And sometimes even parents are giving their children these things to just, you know, keep them quiet. But that is a problem, right? They grow up not being active or not understanding what is to sweat, what is to feel their heart rate increase and run and exercise, and that's something that we really need to do something about. Yeah.
My godsons and my nephew this weekend, listen, I was exhausted, Cicely. I was exhausted.
Very good.
They're actually right now at hockey camp.
That's good.
They're not staying home and just lounging around with their tablets. They're at hockey camp.
Very good.
Two, one of them, he said to me, Uncle, let's play this game. So he took my phone, I brought this exercise, and Simon says basically, to either hop, 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 stop, skip.
Yes.
Again, I said, little boy, my little ponies. But thank you for the exercise where that's concerned.
Exactly.
The other one, Noah, my nephew, he says, let's go outside and play.
Oh, I love
Very
that.
good.
That's
So I'm
good.
always outside with Noah.
That's good.
Very good.
And so, and these are boys, mind you.
That's very good.
But I'm asking that because you talked a lot about not going outside, but there are things one can do inside. But us, the adults, we don't allow them to do
go
inside because for whatever reason they can't go out. But for inside, there are things that we actually can do.
Yeah.
And as a physiotherapist, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we would want them to do. And that we can do in house that we can still stay active.
The same things you do outside, you can do inside.
Football?
Them things, just make some
break my
space.
windows,
The
but-
same skipping, the same. I mean, I know with the internet, you could go on YouTube and find a video, a simple exercise video, or children like dancing too. Put on some music and they, dance and enjoy themselves. Yeah.
And that's important.
That is
that's
definitely
really
important.
From the perspective of Barbados, though, so see what concerns Barbados as it relates to making sure that all is right, so we give our children a really good start and we reduce the incidence of obesity and other non-communicable diseases.
All of those things. All of those things. And we start from 3 months and we go to about 4.5. And you recognize that a good start is very, very important. So we ensure, we try to emphasize for parents, to bring, home cooked food, water, healthy snacks, because we recognize that children, from the time you're attached to that breast, there's a taste that is ignited. And if you train the children from early to eat healthy foods and to drink water, et cetera, which we all need to do.
Yes.
It is better for them, because once it's in there, it's hard for them to go astray later on. Obviously, you will develop your taste in terms of what you like. I've heard you say you don't like certain things, but you recognize that, hey, water. My granddaughter, she loves water. She'll drink the juice, yes, but water is because it's been from time she was about 2 months or whatever going on. That is what she's been given. So we have to start from early.
But we live in a community. We live in a society. We're not just the house alone. We can't isolate ourselves from the lived realities. So what can we do as parents, Cicely, and as caregivers and guardians of our youth so that we avoid them walking into what we know is a danger?
I think, first of all, we have to recognize where we're at. I mean, we're almost 42% of our children are obese. And we know what happens when children go on at school and they're being bullied, they're being made fun of, because of their weight. And you don't want your children to be experiencing that sort of situation. Also, we know that we are consuming too much fast food, too much processed food, and we need to do something about it. We need to be able to say, look, I can't continue with this, because if I continue, I can get diabetes, hypertension, and then there are other situations that you don't want to have to deal with as well. So we need to be able to make small little steps, because we know if you've been doing something for 25 years, changing your way of doing is going to take time. Change is hard, but it's not impossible. So it's a matter of recognizing I need to do whatever I can, starting in my home, starting with my children, starting with myself, to have hopefully a longer life. Help my children to be able to understand the importance of eating properly and doing the best that you can. So all of us have a role to play.
You're right, modeling the behavior that our children are supposed to follow. But children see us as the first examples. And so we must be able to model it. I've fallen in love with water again. I confess, I have fallen in love with water again because I'd gone away from water to sweets.
Right.
And so situations changed, but thankfully I've been able now to survive, and I've fallen in love with water again. I think that's one of the things we can show our children by our love for water, the value of drinking more water and not thinking that every liquid is water. Because that's what children do. Every liquid is water, and no, every liquid is not water, because it's filled with so many other tastes and sugar. And so those are things that we can actually start right now at home and by modeling the behavior. Let's talk about it from the position of the physiotherapist, because along with the fact that we're tackling obesity, we're also tackling a whole host of other concomitant issues. I know you're the medical practitioner here, but let's look at from what you see, but we need to tackle from our children, with our children.
I think exercise, is something that is put on the back burner but exercise is so critical and crucial to everything that we do in our lives and everything. So movement. Movement, and we've developed Project Active to really tackle this inactivity and to support the current school nutrition policy that's in place. So what we've been doing is going into primary schools in Barbados and engaging the children in fun methods of exercising. So it's something that's structured. They have particular tasks, whether it be going through ladders, whether it be jumping over certain things, running, passing balls, different things like that. And just trying to get them to understand that exercise and moving around and this kind of stuff is fun, and it can be fun. And they've all been so responsive to the activities that we've brought into the schools, and even with the refreshments that we give after. I think for our first school we were a bit nervous that we didn't have all these snacks because we thought the children weren't going to be interested in the bananas and the water. These kids were asking for more bananas. They wanted more water. Nobody was complaining about, oh, I don't want the water, I want juice. Everybody, so more of that, and it just goes to show that what you provide or what you give to children, we have the power to influence that. So I think, modeling the behavior is definitely something that we, super important to do. So
exercise also releases some endorphins within. It helps you with mental relaxation and a whole host of other benefits.
So focus. Oh my gosh, I could go on forever on the benefits.
Let me hear you.
On the benefits of exercise, stabilizing blood sugars, improving mood, improving focus.
Mental focus,
improving strength, mobility, flexibility. Where are you not exercising, really? Where are you not?
We've lived the adage, you can seize up. Right?
Course,
if you don't keep moving, you will seize up. And that still holds true today. As much as an old woman's thing that we used to hear, it is still true today. That the more sedentary we become, the less active we become, the more challenging it becomes for us to be able to get up and do things.
True. Correct.
And so in modeling the behavior we want to see, that's going to be important as children. We say to you parents, do it yourself.
Yes.
In other words, do it yourself, but do it with. I know that's what you preach all the time, Sissy.
Of course.
Do it with the child. Don't just speak it, show it, but do it with. And that makes the whole transfer of the change so much easier.
Definitely, because, the average child today is not going to just take your word for it. They want to be able to see it, and if they're not seeing it, they're going to call you out. You know what I mean? When you tell me to do this, but you're still doing this, that's not going to work. So we have to definitely model it, and obviously be careful, because when you make promises, you got to keep them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So parents, we have to be on the ball. You obviously a couple of steps ahead of the children, because the children today come out ready. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful what you say and what you do in front of them, or even when you think they're not listening, think they're not hearing. They are.
That's right.
We have to.
And I know you do a number of workshops at Parados as well, where it's not just showing me how to parent alone, but the importance of understanding that relationship with the child. Let's talk about what you do, one, in those workshops, and two, what are some of the things you hear that concern you as it relates to saying, for us ultimately say enough?
Well, we obviously do our parenting classes, and from time to time we have different workshops to again engage parents so that they can become better parents. And obviously we hear the excuses, I don't have the time, it's expensive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we can all understand where they're coming from. But we also try to let them understand that we're not asking them to do a drastic change overnight, because we know, as I said, change will take time. But little by little, you try to make little steps to improve, what it is that you're doing, how you are cooking, how you're changing the diet. Even in your exercise and whatever it is that you're doing, step by step. And that's basically it. You don't have to pull down the mountain in one go, but recognizing that you need to make changes, recognizing that if we are not, as we say, exercising, if we're not eating properly, then we know what is going to happen. I love to hike. I go hiking almost every weekend, and it keeps me active.
You heard Sissy Peter, right?
Hello. but I didn't just get up one morning and do that. I've been doing this now for years. You know what I mean? So I recognize, even as you get older, you need to, as you say, to stay active, you need to do something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can walk, run, hike, whatever. but try in some way to find some activity to get you off the couch so that you remain active, and the benefits outweigh, you know, the issues that may present themselves.
And to those issues we say enough. How will the campaign roll out, and what is the campaign, how is it doing, how can we be a part of it? We'll talk about that right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Healthy Caribbean Coalition wants us to join with them to say and to raise our voices, to amplify the sound that says to the people who make decisions, enough is enough. I added on enough is enough, but it's enough. And enough of us, one, not paying attention to how we consume, what we consume, enough of us being lazy and not being active, and enough of seeing our children suffering as a consequence of obesity and the challenges that flow therefrom. Enough of ourselves not being the best example for our children as well. Enough, ladies and gentlemen. So how does the campaign work? Indeed, that's what we want to hear from now. Sister Clark Richmond is the director of Barbados, and Marita is with the Barbados Physiotherapy Association. So Marita, I'll start with you because you have a project active.
Yes.
What is that project active designed to do, and what can we all now do, and what else do you have planned?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Project Active is an initiative by the Barbados Physical Therapy Association to support the school nutrition policy that's already in place. And we've been we've been to 3 primary schools already, where we've gone in and engaged the children in fun exercise activities and different little competitions. And so that has gone really well. We actually have a competition that's running right now that's open to primary schools, and we really want to encourage, well, children, it doesn't have to be a school entry, but children at that age to submit a video showing us how they can get active in whatever form or fashion they choose, and just tag us on our Instagram page at BPTA_246 and BPTA, yes.
_246
yes.
on Insta.
Correct. And to the song, I like to move it. I think all the, exactly. So you know it. There you go. Yeah, and that is gonna run. I think we're gonna extend it really, because we kind of school finished and we want to get some more school entries in. Yeah, so we might extend it a bit longer, and then everything is gonna really culminate in our physio week in September. We're gonna have a 5K walk, run and roll, and
walk, run and roll.
Yes, so persons in wheelchairs can come out.
That roll.
Yes, that roll. Yes. So persons in wheelchairs, persons with movement limitations are also going to be out there. So you might see people walking with their walkers. So it's really an inclusive walk, and we really want to get more children involved in that activity. So that's where everything will kind of culminate.
And don't feel bad if you can't be as fast as or as able as. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Every
matter.
additional movement makes you even closer to your goal.
Exactly.
And that's what we're saying here. So allow the children to enter the video competition at BPTA_246 on Instagram. Take a little short video. I like to move it.
Yeah,
That's the song.
exactly.
And show them in forms of exercise, how they keep fit and how they keep moving in it. This sounds like fun.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
perfect time now is summer holiday for you to
Yes.
be able to really capture many, many videos and get them in. Tag the BPTA
Yes.
on Insta, and then you're good to go. There's some prizes for you to be won.
Yes.
But sister, you have a series of workshops, or continuing your series of workshops as well for parents.
Yes. We had a first one on May 30th, and it went pretty well. And we're having our second one on July 25th. And we're going to take it a step further, because in the first one, we basically was educating the parents about ultra-processed foods and how you can be deceived in marketing, and our children are as well. And now we're going to take it a little further, and we want to do some practical. We're looking to have a chef who is going to be preparing some nutritious and healthy breakfast and lunch, and obviously our refreshments will also be obviously emphasis on healthy foods. And it's going to be on the 25th of July at Solidarity House from 9:30 to 1:30, and we're inviting all parents, everybody.
Yes.
Just come and learn something. Come and taste something new. Try something different. And I'm sure that when you come, you begin to think, because we have to think about these things, and we think about it, and then sometimes we put it back, but when you start to think and understand that you're doing this for yourself and for your children, and we need to make the changes. Enough is enough. You say enough in the relationships, you say enough in everything else. When it comes to eating, when it comes to making changes, we have to come to a point. It's like an alcoholic. You have to recognize, I need to make a change, and enough is enough for the companies. When they say, well, our bottom line is going down because whatever, enough is enough. So that's what we as parents need to do, to make that change and say, step by step, I need to make change in how I deal with my home when it comes to nutrition.
Imagine, you heard the numbers, 42%
Yes.
of this nation's children are presenting as obese. Enough. Lest we wrestle this now, that number is going to become startling. What that does, it puts pressure on our systems.
Yes.
It creates an environment where our child is not performing at its optimum. And so we want to be able to say to all that we do to make that cause number, that 42% to happen, to stop it. So enough now. No, enough is enough. Get active, get involved in the programs of Barbados, get involved in the programs of the Barbados Physical Therapy Association, and see the change that we're going for. When your child struggles with obesity, your child is probably struggling also with
self-esteem.
Correct.
Yeah.
Perceptions about self, mentally, emotionally, a whole host of other challenges, because as much as we live in a society, it's not always that kind. And so we want for you to be able to provide an environment where your child thrives and feels good and wants to. And so it starts now, because enough. We start today by saying enough. We want to be able to agitate to government to reinforce those policies that need to be reinforced, or to put in place those policies that need to be put in place.
Yes.
We know we have the school's nutrition policy. Perhaps we need a whole society nutrition policy to make it even broader. Maybe that's part of the call. And so we as adults and as parents and caregivers and people, we add our voice to the campaign, and we can do so by contacting the Healthy Caribbean Coalition, HCC. They're online. And you can say, I want to stand in support with you of this cause. Enough. I also want to say enough. And I want to be able to say with you, I'll march with you where I need to march to be able to agitate for the change that we want to see indeed. And so as a people, we as a community, we take charge. And
I just want to say, Pearson, that the workshop is free. You just called our number 427-0212, and you can register so we can have an idea as to how many people we need to cater for.
So registration though?
Well, at least indicate that you're, registration that you're coming.
Interested.
Yeah, you're interested in
the
attending.
25th. Solidarity
July.
House.
Yes, 9:30.
9:30 in the morning. Register by calling Barbados 427-0212. 427-0212. If you're down by Parry Gap, you want to pop in and see Sister and her team, do that too, and register. Because we want to be able to make sure that you benefit in a significant way. We want to make it comfortable for you and ensure that you get from it all that you need to get. Indeed, so come. Don't say this is enough now. Well, say it is enough. But don't say, I can't. Come. We all say this is enough. 42% of this nation's children are obese. 42%. And if we don't arrest it now, that number will grow. We will see all of the concomitant non-communicable diseases affecting them. But it affects our healthcare system. It affects you as well. So we say together, enough. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank
Cicely.
you.
And
Thank
Burita?
you. Yes,
That's
thank
good.
you.
As always, the Healthy Caribbean Coalition says, let's join the campaign. Enough. Children, you can take your short videos, of course, showing you to I like to move it. I like to move. That, show me how you exercise, how you work out, how you keep moving. Indeed, and send those videos to PTA_246 on Instagram, and good luck to you. You get a chance to win as well. But parents, the workshop is coming up on the 25th of this month at Solidarity House from 9:30 in the morning. You need to register right now. You can call 427-0212 and book your space. It's absolutely free.
Yes.
Let's all join the campaign.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Person.
welcome indeed. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
CBC, good afternoon.
My name is Omar Watson. My name is Jeffrey Mack II.
Kai Jones Goodrich, and I currently work in the newsroom.
Ethan Taylor, and I'm in the sales and marketing department.
Abigail McGuinness, and I'm working in the accounts department. My name is Julie Welch Kay, and I work under the finance department.
My highlight here would be my first week. Actually, I was invited to be on Mornin Barbados my second day.
My best moment would have to be when I was able to go to the Arts Pearly launch.
Going to the site visit, thanking the community and meeting all the officiators and vendors. So far, I've been doing content for the 3 stations, Vibe 94, 98.1, and Q100, 1000.
And here is where I do my obits. I learned that obituaries are very important. They need to be read properly, need to be written properly for them to be spoken right. I have learned so far how to do internal and external documents, how to deal with customer service. I have also learned how to do filing and accounts reconciliation.
CBC has helped me a lot in ways as a person who likes production and stuff like that.
What you learn in the classroom will never be what you can learn out in the field. I would say it's a wonderful experience so far, and I learned a lot. My best influence is Sharika Pap.
Pearson would have told me to just be natural, be calm, and don't think about it too much.
Anesta Henry.
Kurt Brown, TJ, Aeon Skills, DJ Ross.
Thank you, Arlene. Well, my current future goal is to come back and work at CBC News as a full-time journalist, but long-term goals, I'd like to get into broadcasting journalism and become a news anchor.
I would like to continue working in marketing or even corporate communications or public relations.
My future goals are to work in hospitality. My future goals and aspirations is to be an accountant.
My experience so far, I would say a 9.5. 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10 so far.
So you saw, those are our interns here at the CBC over the summer holiday. Kai Jones Goodrich is also one of our interns. She's been working in the newsroom. Kai, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You've changed your hair. That's one change.
I have. I love changing it up.
Oh, that's the kind of personality you have.
Of course.
Welcome to CBC. How has it been for you?
It has been wonderful. Honestly, this is my second time coming back. So I came in already knowing a few faces, so I didn't have to worry about first impressions. So it's been a completely unimaginable experience for me so far.
But coming back means that you must have loved the first time around.
I did. I loved it so much, and it was such a short time. I had to come back for longer.
Well, what have you learned about CBC and the way that the media, the electronic media works?
Well, I've seen a big difference between us who operate more with TV and radio than compared to print. Gone down to formatting, the way we write up our stories, everything. It's just a different world, and it feels more quick on the ball. You have to be ready. You have to always be moving.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you had never experienced before.
Never.
Or from watching and listening to what we do, you never thought it happened in the way it happened.
I thought it was exciting, but I didn't realize just how on top of the ball you have to be at 24/7.
I tell you this, girl, we don't sleep. And that's why I caution a lot of people all the time, if you're going to come into the electronic media, it consumes your time.
Mm-hmm.
So your time is no longer your time, but you can find your time to do you at the same time as well, if you understand what I'm saying.
You have to know how to make your schedule work to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a late assignment once. My first experience with a late assignment, it ended at 11 o'clock at night. And I got home so tired, but I still came into work the next
Bright and
day,
early.
and I still went out with my friends that same night.
There you go. See, so there's an adrenaline that gets you going, because your mission is to keep the people informed. And for us who present is to keep the people also entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing that gets you up and keeps you going. Have you had those moments of sleepless nights where something's in your mind?
Where I hear a story and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell Ken.
That happens very, very often in this business as well. You came through the BCC, the Barbados Community College. What did you study while you were there?
I studied at BCC, I studied English Literature and Law as a double major. And currently I'm at St. Augustine now studying English Literature and Communications.
Right. So lit continued.
Yeah.
But now you added the communication side of it. At the BCC, the program that you did there, I'll walk you through there and then at St. Augustine as well. At the BCC, how much of the program there helped you with working here?
I find a lot of Barbadians, because we're so accustomed to our dialect, which is a language in itself, you now have to learn to broaden your vocabulary. And that's what BCC was perfect for. It took me from my secondary school level of being accustomed to very simplistic ways of speaking to creating a more professional image for myself, for my way of writing, for even my diction. It was like my introduction into the field.
And into this field where we are the electronic media now, there's writing for the air, which is different from writing for print. Totally different. You're telling stories, the same story, but you're telling the stories a little differently, taking a totally different approach. Have you got that?
I have. I find for print, it's very much like storytelling. For air, you have to be able to catch attention instantly. From your first line, that was the first thing I learned here at CBC and at BCC. I need to be able to give impact from that first word.
Yeah. And that's it. You have no time. That person has no time to go back and say, play it again, let me hear.
Yeah, they lose interest too quickly.
Exactly. And then you made your way across to St. Augustine. Yes, you could have studied anywhere else in the world.
I could have, but it's family tradition, which is a big thing for me.
Really?
My mother has gone to St. Augustine. My cousins have gone to St. Augustine. So I obviously want to go as well. And it's like a home away from home. It's close enough to Barbados that I can come back and visit when I need to. And it's not too different in terms of culture. So I love it. It's another Caribbean island.
What's your view of media today?
Today, I think we see the same thing reoccurring over and over. There's no one asking anything shocking. There's nothing that really makes you stop and go, I need to listen to this. I need to watch this story as it progresses. And which is why I'm so excited seeing all of these new journalists coming in at CBC, because you get an entirely new perspective with each generation.
You've taken the role of journalist. But you have ambition to do so much more in media. Let's talk about that.
My long-time end goal is anchoring. I want to be in front of the cameras. I want to be on TV. But I don't want to lose that journalist side of myself.
You're not going to lose it. The quest for information, the quest for accurate information, and the quest to get it out first sometimes. That still stays within. It doesn't change. I'm not a journalist, though people think I am. But it's the passion for knowing, for meeting people, for hearing stories being told, and to tell those stories as well, to make a difference to somebody who's watching or viewing today.
I love that you said that, because honestly, what got me into journalism was humanitarian journalism. That need to tell the right story and help out who can't speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's so important, to be driven by people and not profit. And I say that deliberately because you're right. There are people who find themselves in spaces in media who are not necessarily as altruistic as we'd want them to be, but at the same time they do what they do, and I'm not criticizing anybody, but it is what it is. But if you hold centered everything you're doing, people and what people need to know and how people need to feel about themselves or to feel about themselves later, that makes a big difference indeed. So as the one who wants to be an anchor, tell me then, what do you think it requires to be a good anchor?
I think the main thing to be a good anchor is to have a proper voice. Your diction is perfect, that you can bring attention when you look at a camera. You can make people pause and say, I need to listen to this. And you have the ability to carry it across clearly and carefully and with the right emotion for each story. Each story has a different tone.
Sounds as if you're talking Pearson's language here. I say that all the time. It's a completely new song, and I use the word that deliberately, song, every time you change the story, especially if the story is a different story. And so you must be able to give it the same tune, a different tune every time. So the listener or the viewer must be able to sense that he just turned the script to something else.
They need to feel your emotion being pulled out of the story.
Don't do it too much. Don't do it too much, because it's not about you. It's about the story and the viewer. But at the same time, it must be sufficient that they feel the story. And I use that word deliberately. They must be able to feel the story. They'll hear the story once they feel it.
Very true.
You got it?
Yep. I love every time you give me a little tidbit of information.
Bless your heart, girl. Bless your heart. But when you become the anchor, you lose yourself. Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
Your story comes first. You, as the person, take second place to what is being told.
Don't let yourself overtake the story. Don't let yourself overtake the story. The story is what's most important. But you're also going to lose your privacy.
Oh.
Expect it. I'm telling you now. So just a little bit of advice, because it comes with the territory. So if that is your intention, understand that you become a public figure. And that public figure will consume you in whatever ways they want to consume you. And that's up to you to determine the taste of your meal.
I am already starting from now. My mother, I have to mention her because she's been one of my strongest supporters in this career field. She always tells me, from now, start working on your image. Start looking at how people look at you. You have to carry yourself a certain way, especially if you want to go into anchoring.
Exactly. Your mother gave you the best advice. She's been giving you some really good advice. So this relationship with your mother is very important.
Of course. My mother is honestly my best friend. Her name is Pamela Jones-Goodrich. She works at Derek Smith.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And she does.
I'll meet her soon. Go ahead.
Definitely. And she has been kind of guiding me on where to go academically, and then along with that, how to carry myself publicly. When I came in for the internship, she took me in and she said, okay, we need to figure out what you're going to wear. You have to make sure when you go in, you speak to everyone properly, you make your connections know.
Excellent. Good mother. Wonderful indeed. Along the way, have there been other people who have dropped kernels of information within your life experience that have helped you?
I would say everyone in the newsroom. When I'm looking to apply jobs, I will be contacting them for references. But people like Anessa Henry and Melissa and stuff like that, anyone I've met along this journey has been willing to help me, has been willing to guide me, has been willing to mentor me in a way.
And you know that's because of you.
I would hope so.
It has to be because of you, because they could have chosen not to do so.
That's true.
But they have done so because of you. And you're right, be a light wherever you go. Be a light that people would want to gravitate to. And so have the right attitude, the right aptitude, and you will find your help will come just like that. People just show up to help you because it's like, there's something about this girl I like, and therefore I want to help her. That's the natural human reaction. And if what you're experiencing as you've just described happens, then you're on the right track. What do you do for fun?
Well, honestly, and it might be the lit major in me, I love reading. I am a great fan, The Great Gatsby, stuff like that. I love to sit back, read a book, and then analyze it. And my friends hate it, but I love
because you're
going
always
to
breaking
them.
things down.
Yes. I have to tell people, I have to talk about it.
Yes.
I need someone that I can compare notes with.
I know what you mean. My English literature in secondary school teacher said to me, in my report, Bowen talks a lot.
Mine too. And that was my life throughout my entire school.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean. So for me, as the one in the school, I loved Shakespeare. Shakespeare doesn't probably feature in schools like before, but there was a book called Pride and Prejudice. Do you know it?
Oh, of course.
I don't mean the show, the film on TV. I'm talking about the book. Have you read it?
I have not read it. I've gravitated more towards Derek Walcott in secondary school than Shakespeare.
You did more Caribbean literature. I did more Eurocentric literature. And so that book is so deep with so many constructs of life. It would be a really, really good read when you get a chance to put your hand on it. You know, and I'm one of those people, when I find a good book, I can read it more than once and see something totally different.
You have to read it at least 3 times in order to really get the story. My lecturers tell me all the time, the first time you're just reading it to see what's going on. Second time, no, you're starting to dissect it. And the third time is when you really grasp it.
Your lecturers are right. Read it over and over and you will see, wow, that's the story for real? Why didn't I get it the first time around? And so this is what you do. So for fun, it is literature. Anything else for fun? You can't be just so serious.
Oh no, my fun is very lackadaisical. My life is constantly going, so I tend to sit back and more take a more relaxed approach when it comes to fun. I love things like relaxing on the beach or staying in and sleeping for a little spa day. I believe in self-care. If you are out all the time, you have to take time to really reflect on yourself, to properly work on yourself.
I'm a church boy. I'm a choir boy. I sing as well. And so those are my salves to my beastly day. And so here it is now. You are in broadcast, coming from the St. Augustine, University of St. Augustine. And so what are they teaching you there about broadcast and the industry?
Well, it's a new age. So a lot of our media is now integrating social media. So St. Augustine has taken a new approach of including analytics for apps like TikTok, Instagram and stuff, to teach our new journalists coming out that how to operate in media as well as operating in the newsroom on TV. So that's mainly what I focused on outside of learning to write up stories. I also am grasping how to create a post that impacts.
And there's a difference between the online journalist, or what we call the citizen journalist, and the regular traditional journalist in media, whether it's print or electronic. What's the difference do you see?
The biggest warning we get is that you cannot believe everything online. AI is a big thing that's occurring now. And as new journalists, it's important that we check our facts from the source. Check your sources. So that's the major difference I'm seeing when you have print media and when you have places like CBC, news, online news, TV news, that you can more trust that the sources are properly stated. Online, that line starts to blurs. So if you're going into that field, you have to be able to distinct yourself from whoever else might be online. The internet is a free place.
A little too free. And so therefore you have to be careful what your sources are. Indeed, for you to be able to support the position that you tell as well. But there's this whole thing now about wanting to be first. Yeah, let me hear you.
Ethics takes time. you want to create a story that is important and really helps people, you need to take your time. You don't have to be the first out the door. You can be the best out the door. That's the more important thing to me.
The most accurate. Out the door. And that's so important indeed. I like that. So here you are now. How long are you going to be with us for?
I am here for 2 more weeks. I've been here a month so far.
You sound as if you're counting the time.
No, I'm
don't mean in a bad
counting
way.
for next year.
And then when you're done with your internship, you head back to St. Augustine?
I have 1 more year at St. Augustine. And my final year. Wish me luck.
I wish you well. I really do wish you well. And so at the end of that, and you become competent in what you're doing, what's your plan? Have you thought of it? Or are you waiting on mommy to guide you here now?
No, this one is all me. I fully plan to apply back at CBC and get into the newsroom full time. And I want to spend at least 2 to 3 years working in the field with my peers before going back again to university to do my master's.
That's your plan. That's your plan. Your perception of the CBC before you came into the CBC, even at the first time, because you know there's public conversation about this place and so forth. Did you come with that public conversation in your head? And if so, what did you meet then when you walked in the door?
I have to be completely honest. I grew up in Grand Cayman, so I didn't have as much of an introduction to the conversation. I did have a bit, but it was more from people my age who aren't as interested in the news, who are always like, I don't know what on CBC is for me. So when I came in, it was like, I now have to get an idea of what's going on. And so far, my view has always been kind. I've always had a good experience. And it really showed me how much more there is to CBC than the news.
What then do you say to those who would have said to you, there's nothing there for me?
I would say then you aren't tuning in at the right time. You're getting online, you're turning on the TV at 7 p.m., seeing news, and that's all you know.
Yes, take some time and watch, take some time and listen, and then you will see there's much more than you thought of at first, or what you believe from somebody else's comment. So to get to know it for yourself, and now you've gotten to know it for yourself. Kai, you've done well.
Thank you.
I remember the day I walked into that newsroom because I had to read the news. And this was this girl with all this hair. You know, who was this girl? I'd never met her before. You were actually on the corner. And I remember going to Kent and I said, Kent, who's this girl? He said, oh, she's one of our interns. And then you came in with your sunshine into the room. You always had a smile. You always had joy in your voice. And you would say, good evening, everybody. And you go through the door. It was just so funny. And I'm like, I like this girl. She has an energy that is positive. I don't ever lose that energy, that positive energy. Don't ever lose it. Life is life, but don't let it, the life, consume who you are.
Be the sunshine on the rainy day.
There you go. Your mother told you that, right?
Nah, that's me this
That's
time.
you.
I have to give myself credit where credit stands.
Well done indeed. Kai Jones-Goodrich, thank you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your internship with us, and success will abound you as well. I wish for you as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to meet you. Morning Barbados comes right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Oh, my soul is full today. Met some interesting people. We discussed some very, very interesting subjects as well. Remember, keep an eye on what's happening at the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. You can watch on YouTube because they're streaming events there live, or you can go onto the website of CARICOM and you can read for yourself the discussions that are coming out of that meeting as well. I want to wish you a lovely day. My crew joins me in saying the very same to you. Be it the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.